Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. All right, CFL Week 13. We got 4 weeks left. Most teams have about 3 games left, some 4. Ooh, Week 12. I didn't do so well. I was 1-3 straight up picks, 1-3 against the spread, 4-0 over under. So year to date, straight up picks 23-23 against the spread, 19-27 over under 22-24. All right, some of the league leaders so far in stats: most completions, Cody Fajardo, Saskatchewan with 220. Zach Colliers out of Winnipeg with 215. Michael Riley out of BC with 193 completions. Now, total attempts, passing attempts, same three. Fajardo 314, Colliers 303, Michael Riley 282. Cody Fajardo 70.1% completion ratio, while Colliers at 71 and Riley's at 68.4. Most passing yards: Zach Colliers 2,832, Cody Fajardo 2,326, Michael Riley 2323, and Bo Leavy Mitchell out of Calgary with 2,049. He is my quarterback this week. Most rushing yards: William Stanback, Montreal 880, Kaideen Carey, Calgary 681, my running back. James Wilder 675, Andrew Harris 623. Most receptions: Kyron Moore out of Saskatchewan at 63, Kenny Lawler out of Winnipeg with 50, Brian Birmingham out of BC with 49, Eugene Lewis out of Montreal with 48, and then Ottawa's Ryan Davis with 48. Most receiving yards: Eugene Lewis out of Montreal, 815, Kenny Lawler there at Winnipeg, 804, Jake Wieneke out of Montreal, 705, Brian Birmingham out of BC, 689, and then Lucky Whitehead, BC's 665 as well. Kickoff and punt return leaders: Devontae Deadman out of Ottawa, who is hurt this week. I was getting ready to get him on my fantasy team, and nope, he's hurt. He's got 41 punt returns for 637, 2 touchdowns, 41 kickoff returns for 101 yards. As for my foresaid fantasy, the official Atlantic Schooner League, I have fallen to 36th overall with 800 points. I'm struggling pretty bad. So this week I decided to Bo Leavy Mitchell out of Calgary, Kadeem Carey out of Calgary, James Butler out of BC, Josh Huff out of Calgary, a little Calgary heavy this week, Stephen Dunbar out of Hamilton, Kane Schaefer Baker out of Saskatchewan, and then Toronto Argonauts are my defense. They're going against BC, so hopefully that's a good pick. All right, those 4 games. We're going to talk about the playoffs. It's playoff time, folks. Winnipeg's already locked up the West, 10-1, first round bye. They're just cruising at this point. Saskatchewan is 6-4, Calgary 5-6. Right now they are in, followed by BC at 4-6 and Edmonton 2-7. Over on the East, Montreal and Toronto both 6-4, and then Hamilton is 5-5. So right now there is no crossover. Unless BC can get a better record than Hamilton, we may not have a crossover in 2021. All right, that first game, the 5-6 Calgary Stampeders versus the 2-9 Ottawa Redblacks. So Ottawa is just bad this year. They are giving up 28 points a game by scoring only 15. They are 1-4 at home. Calgary is 3-2 on the road. Calgary's favored by 12. That's kind of a no-brainer. Stampeders win. They cover the 12 and under on the 41.5. Those pesky Hamilton Tiger Cats, 5-5. Everyone, I mean, I still talk about this every week. Everybody thought at the beginning of the year, what's the chances of Hamilton going undefeated? At this point, what's the chances of Hamilton missing the playoffs? Again, they're 1 game up on BC for the crossover. So if BC can get 2 games on Hamilton, they would get the crossover. And Hamilton would go home. They are playing the 2-7 Edmonton Elks, who just aren't good. They're 0-5 at home. I got the Tiger Cats, who are favored by 5.5. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 42.5. The 4-6 BC Lions versus the 6-4 Toronto Argonauts. Toronto's favored by 3.5. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 46.5, and they will be going 5-0 at home once they win this game. Now, the last game is the battle of the 6-4 teams. We have the 6-4 Saskatchewan Roughriders versus the 6-4 Montreal Alouettes. Now, the Roughriders are 4-2 at home, but only 2-2 on the road, while the Alouettes are 4-2 on the road, 2-2 at home. So it kind of, they're 6-4 overall, both 2-2 away from home and at home. The actual line of this game is Saskatchewan by 1.5. I decided to Montreal plus 1.5. They win the plus 1.5 and then over the 47.5. So I have 2 home teams winning and 2 road teams winning: the Calgary, Hamilton, and then Toronto and Montreal. That's going to wrap up week 13 of the CFL. Stay tuned to Robert Sports Show for week 9 of college football, week 8 of the NFL as soon as the NFL season gets over with, which that should be in a few minutes here. And at least in the NFL fantasy world, if I win tonight, I'll be tied for the lead. And I am going to lose. Yep, I've already lost. Unless DK Metcalf goes negative, I've just lost. Well, you've heard it here first. I lost in fantasy in both leagues, NFL and CFL, this week. Well, fun times for me. As always, thanks for watching the Robert Sports Show, and don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.